My whole family were addicts. My whole family, my mother, father, sister, 2 sisters and a brother, all died from the disease of alcoholism.
Somehow I ended up on the streets of Patterson and came to the mission, and I had 3 bottles of pills with me. I was going to commit suicide that night.
I've seen people shot, stabbed, seen people robbed. The only way that you can get through that neighborhood when I was a kid was to be as crazy as they are.
Welcome to the Belly of the Beast, a local nickname for the worst parts of Patterson, New Jersey. And in the heart of it, a beacon of light has existed since 1931. The Good Shepherd Mission was started with the express purpose of preaching the gospel, feeding the poor, and helping the homeless. And today, its purpose remains the same.
You know, somebody might ask what's the difference between the Good Shepherd Mission and maybe other programs? It is priorities, because our priority here is that we're concerned about the person's soul above all things.
The mission was established upon the life-changing power of Jesus Christ, who ultimately holds the power for total and permanent change. It offers help and support for men struggling with substance abuse and homelessness. Through fellowship with one another, the staff and residents are able to experience unity in the Spirit of Christ.
God has his station right here, and it's in all his madness. And you know, it's the best secret in town.
Well, when people come through this house, they can't see Christ. They can only see the people here, and that's the hope until they can get to Christ.
The mission prepares thousands of meals every year for the hungry and provides warm shelter for the homeless. Not a dollar is taken from any city, county, state, or federal aid. All funding comes from the faithful giving of God's people.
My name is Zora. I come from a small southern town, large Catholic family. I was raised in the church. My grandfather was a minister. I've got 4 uncles who were ministers. Got involved in drugs, script drugs at 19. Somehow I ended up on the streets of Patterson and came to the mission, and I had 3 bottles of pills with me. I was going to commit suicide that night.
I started using drugs at a very, very early age. Didn't know anything about God, wasn't raised in a godly family. My story is poverty. My story is prison.
I grew up in a strong Christian home. Both of my parents are believers. My dad's been an elder of a church for over 15 years. Through middle school into high school, I always had a problem with acceptance. I always wanted to be accepted by crowds. I was afraid of being rejected, and I believe that's what started me on the downfall into drugs and alcohol. I started small through high school, and it just gradually started to take a turn for even worse. It became something I did every day. I couldn't live without it, and my life just fell apart from there. I lost total control of everything. Started to do drugs that I said I'd never do. Started to hang out with people that I never saw myself hanging out with. I had a pretty good life, and I can honestly say what really brought me to the Good Shepherd Mission was hate for divorce, marriage, being betrayed, and from there I got into drugs and alcohol.
I was shooting dope again. Found myself with another dope habit, came back to the mission. Did everything I had to do, came through the program, was an intern, was junior staff in the program, did everything that was told of me, but I couldn't kick using drugs.
And I would actually sit on the walls outside there drunk, no place to go, and never knew that help was right here.
I knew the Bible. Oh, I knew the Bible probably better than the devil, you know, because I was raised in it. You know, but I started reading it and made it personal to me. You know, instead of some God that was far off and somebody that, a deity or dignity or whatever you want to call it, being so far off, I made it personal. And the more I stayed here, I saw people's lives change. And I said, well, if I how they changed their lives. I've got to go after that.
And I said, you know what? I'm sick and tired of the life that I'm living. And if you're willing to change me, Lord, here I am.
I wouldn't say that the Good Shepherd changed me. What it did was it gave me the opportunity to walk with Christ.
Immediately when I got here, I was accepted with love from the guys in the program, Pastor Mike and Mother Joni. I wasn't judged. I was with open arms unconditionally. And today I compare that to God's love for me.
I'll never forget that night I received Jesus Christ right here in this very room. And there's a warmth that came over me in a glow. And I felt at peace, finally at peace.
Today I have a bank account, I have a checking account, I have a, oh my God, can you believe this? Today, this guy, pays his rent.
I know today who I am is a real testimony, what God's doing today. I'm a student at Nyack College up in New York. It's a Bible college, and I'm just learning more and more in the Word. Every time I come back here, I look at the guys that are newly in the program, and it just reminds me of who I was and where God has taken me. And there's no greater joy in it.
My family has been restored. I have a job now that I make about a third of the money that I used to make. Although today I have more than I've ever had, and I have peace.
The thought of suicide has left me. The depression has been lifted, you know.
I didn't know Christ when I came here, but it was the people here that pointed me to Christ. And I'm forever grateful for that.
This story I heard once where this little boy was walking the beach, and there was like millions starfish washed up on the beach, millions of them. And he was picking one at a time, throwing them back in the water. And someone asked him, why are you doing that? It's not going to make a difference. There's just so many of them. And he picked up one more and threw it in the water and said it made a difference to him. And that's what Good Shepherd Mission has done for me. Amen.